Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we're here live on YouTube Live. Of course, Matt's back this week. Matt's been gone the last couple of episodes. He had some stuff he had to take care of. And real quick, I know on our social medias we were promoting the podcast I did last Sunday. Of course, Eric Woodworth was here with me for Brendan McKenna.
Great guy.
Great guy. He was on 98 Rock. He's going to be on 98 Rock again on Friday. I did his show, the Quality Time podcast. We discussed Friday the 13th, part 6, Jason Lives, plus amongst other stuff. And go over there. There's a little bit of exclusive story about Socrates, who normally helps out with this show. I'm not going to get into that because I want you guys to go over and hear the first half of it, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about the second half. Of course, Socrates has been a part of this show since the beginning. He fills in all the time. Really good friend of mine. I've known him forever through professional wrestling. I've been worried about him with some of the stuff that he has going on. As I said, check out Eric's podcast. It's on all official podcast platforms. Listen in on what was going on beforehand. But I've been trying to get a hold of him all week. Been worried about him. So finally, he called me back. He said, hey, I'm in the hospital. And I'm like, oh, all right, what happened? You okay? And, he has depression problems, all that stuff. And he said that he pretty much jumped off of a bridge over train tracks and got ran over by a train. He's alive. All of the bones in his back are completely destroyed. He may never walk again. So, yeah, like,
what the
so,
fuck,
yeah.
man?
So if you're having any issues and you need somebody to talk to, make sure you reach out to the National Suicide Prevention Hotline because, you don't want to end up like that, so
Absolutely. Yeah. Problems.
Don't mean to start the show on a, sad note or a low note or, anything like that. So
It's best we get that out of the way first.
Yeah. Very, very best that we get that out of the way first. But no, so we're right here on YouTube Live. Of course, we'll be joined by Callie Roses a little bit later on. She's going to be joining us probably around like 8 o'clock. She could come in very, very early, earlier than that as well. Now, Matt, you weren't here when I first brought this up. I asked Socrates about this the last time he was there. So Jess was watching a video on TikTok, and I forget the name of the podcast. I can't remember to save my life, but it's two guys. They always go back and forth about stuff. And the one guy arose the question. He's like, well, when you pee, how do you pee? And the guy was like, well, what do you mean when you pee? He's like, well, he's like, when I pee, I pull out my entire junk and pee. And the other guy's like, no, that's weird. Like I unzip my pants, pull out just my hog and pee. So then Jess was like, well, how do you pee? Because she feels like
you do.
Yeah. Well,
come watch me.
Because she thinks it makes sense for you to, unzip, pull out your schlong, pee, do that. And I was like, no, I undo my pants, like literally, like I'll stand up, I'll like pull my pants down, I'll flip out my balls and my dick rests on my balls, and I piss. And she's like, what? She's like, you don't like just. I'm like, do you know how much time I would lose in my life if I sat there and unzipped my pants, wrestled my hog out, pissed, put it back in, and then zip back up when I can just unsnap, unzip, flop. It kind of rests on my nuts and then flop back in, boom, and go back. So is that how you do it? Because
that's exactly how I do it.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, if I even if I have shorts on, I'll just lift the pants leg to the side and just fucking pee.
See, when I'm wearing shorts, I just get up and I just pull my shorts down enough. Like she's like, oh, so your ass is hanging out? I'm like, no, I literally pull down the front of my shorts, flip it out, piss, finish, shake, flip it back in. She's like, you don't even touch your dick. I'm like, no, my dick rests on my balls.
You just kind of bungee it. You can bungee it on your,
Yeah.
I like to do that sometimes. It's just a quick, easy go thing. I think once you get older, it just gets easier.
Yeah.
It's like, why go through all that trouble unzipping and everything like that?
And of course, we're here on our YouTube Live. Of course, we got a couple of people in the thread, and of course, live. Anybody watching at home, join in on this conversation. When you pee, do you pull your balls and your dick out to pee, or do you just pull out the hammer through your? Because that's a lot of work. Like you're wearing boxers, like you have to unzip, you have to unbutton your boxers, fish it through your boxers, fish it through your pants, and then pee. Like me, I'm just kind of like, okay, we can eliminate all this by just flopping it out, letting it rip, and then flopping it back in.
Dude, there used to be this guy that like back in, I think it was high school. I can't remember. He used to drop his pants all the way to the floor and stand there butt naked and pee.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, dude.
What that and E Simon says 14 says it depends honestly. So he says it depends honestly. So what does it depend on? Because I like it's funny because my wife asked me, she's like, well, like, have you always done that? I was like, yeah, like that's like my father did it, his father did it,
His
his father did it. Like, no, like I don't know. Like, I mean, that's how I learned how to pee. Like, so I've always done it that way. God forbid I have a child's bladder, because I'm sure at some point I'm going to have to get up and piss because that's the way it is. But when I get up and piss, that's why, like, literally when we take our breaks, I'm in and out with pissing because I go in, I don't have a lot of work to do.
If I'm in a hurry, dude, I don't even bother to shake that motherfucker. I just stuff her back right in there and just I keep on sailing.
And Jason said the bad places to pee is a urinal at a football stadium. And then that's kind of true. We're at, you know, baseball or anything like that, because I've had friends where like they pull their pants down to like their ankles to pee, and they do it every. Oh, speaking of which, I was at Giant last night, and a poor random man saw my hog when I was in the bathroom at Giant.
What are you doing in there?
Because what happened is so and Jess was trying to figure this out. So I'm in Giant. So I go into Giant, and this is the wall where the urinal is right here. Okay. So the wall where the urinal is right here. So what I'm doing is I'm in there. So I go over to the urinal and I start peeing. So I'm peeing like that. And then the stall is over here. So the stall is over here, but they put the stall door enough to where when the door flies open, it just misses the urinal. So if you were to look this way, you see completely inside the stall.
That's a bad design.
So so I'm sitting there, junk hog flopped all the way out, like, you know, not doing a lot of work to get it out. And I'm peeing and the door opens and me and the guy just look at each other in shock. Like, did this really happen? I'm like, I mean, I didn't stop peeing or anything. Like, I'm just like, well, you just saw my dick. Like, you know, sorry if it's too small for you or too big or what have you. Like, I mean, I don't know how you, like, I wonder if he was like, you know, doing a dick rating in his mind when he saw that. But like, it's
and I think we touched on this before. I think my wife was amazed about the fact that the urinals that, like, you know, especially during like ball games and stuff where like a heavy traffic in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
And the urinals, like, we literally as guys, we stand shoulder to shoder and just
we pee just like this. Like, and it's the kind of thing just
and
like
she's like, ew, that's fucking gross.
Some people will run into it nowadays where you get those metal troughed urinals. And like those metal trough urinals, there's no divider. Like, you're just sitting, like, you're standing there and it's just hog among hogs. Like, it's like a buffet of fucking sausage, just like fucking lined up, just fucking peeing.
Yeah. Like, a lot of older bars down the city are like that. They have that
now it's the kind of thing that I'm at the point now that if I'm ever at one of those, I'm going to look just so I can see how everybody pisses, just to see if they flop the whole thing out or if they like wrestle. Like, you know, I mean,
Ray, sometimes I worry about you.
I mean, like, but I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, now it strikes your mind of, you look at a person and you're like, I wonder how they piss. Like, I mean, that's like I mean, you lay in bed thinking at night, I wonder if like I laid in bed last night wondering, how does Matt piss? Like, I mean, I can't wait to ask Matt how he pisses. Like,
the way another man pisses has never crossed my fucking mind, right? And I've thought of some really weird fucking shit, but that's never crossed my mind.
Oh, trust me, it's crossed mine. And it crossed that man's mind when he watched me fucking piss in fucking Giant last night. And it's funny because it was one of those things that, like, as I walked, it was as soon as I got there, because as I said, I had to bladder like a child. So as soon as we got there, I looked at Jess, I was like, I'm going to go piss. I saw this dude 4 other fucking times when we were in the store. So like, and every time we made eye contact, knowing what happened in the bathroom. But at that point, I hadn't revealed that information to Jess yet. I told her when we got home. So like, she was probably thinking, why does this man keep looking at Ray like that? And it's because he saw my hog in the bathroom because of that piss poor design. Like, why not put the divider here? Like, I'd rather the person washing their hands walk in and be startled than the poor person in the stall that just got done blowing the toilet up, unbeknownst that I'm there, kicking the door open and going, oh shit, there's a man here pissing.
That's
Like,
wild
you know,
shit.
what the fuck?
See, if that had happened to me, I literally like by the end of that shit, I would have probably gave you my phone numbers.
Here's my number.
Like if
Call
you
me.
if you just need to talk about what happened,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, man. If you just need to talk a little bit about this, we can do this. And of course, as I said, we're here live on Facebook Live. And Walter commented, he said, tell Kelly Roses that she is very successful in Brazil. So once she joins us, we always get people from Brazil. Shout out to Brazil. It's fucking late as shit in Brazil right now. Yeah. So it's super late in Brazil. And of course, we're here. It is Sinko De Mayo. So happy Sinko De Mayo to everybody out there. A whole entire episode. Once Kaylee comes in, some of the things that we're going to talk about are going to be Sinko De Mayo themed. So that's the whole thing. Once she comes in, we're going to start talking about some of that kind of stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to get into our featured beer real quick, which our featured beer, Matt picked these up before he went, is Cayman Jack Margaritas. So of course you see mine's zero sugar. So
is yours just like a regular type?
Just a regular margarita with zero sugar. And does this have any kind of like nice little description? No, it does not. But this is a big ass fucking can. Of course, I'm on a diet. I've lost almost 40 pounds.
Well, that's why.
So and you have the
gotta go big or go home.
Yeah. So
it's just strawberry margarita. It's very fruity.
Very fruity.
It's not bad though. It's not bad. I probably would have preferred that one, but since you're on a diet, I just kind of like it. I was like,
well, I saw it and I picked them up and I was like, let's see, zero sugar or this one. And I was like, I'm down almost 40 pounds. I think I'm going to do zero sugar. This is the one that I'm going to choose. And like, yeah, dude, like just seeing the look on that guy's face when that stall flew open, dude. And I was there just pissing in all my glory, like not thinking about anything. And like literally, it was one of those things where the stall door flew open. This guy's like deer in headlights looking at me while I'm pissing. And I just do the whole casual, like slow look over, like, sup, bro? Like, you know,
what else do you do?
I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Like, you know,
you're good as just started peeing on him.
Yeah, it's like this. I'm just standing and I just turn as I piss on him slowly. Like, how can I help you? You know, or it could have been the kind of thing where he like comes out of the stall and then he holds my dick for me and helps me try to piss. Like, you know, just unbeknownst. Like, I mean, I think I would allow, like, I mean, yeah, at that point, like, I'm not holding it. You know, we've just had the discussion of, you know, it just sits and rests there. Like, so if he wants to like steer the ship for me, you know, I'm just kind of, you know, fine with that. So
the things that happen in a giant bathroom. Wow.
So, and of
Jason
course,
says he's never heard of her.
There's a lot of people who know who
I know who
Kelly is. Yeah, I know who she is. I've known who she is for a long time.
There was a guy at work randomly. He was like, "Oh yeah, he's gonna be on a show." I told him, he's like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah,
really? You don't say." No, I'm lying to you. I've never had a podcast. I've never done this before. Of course, everybody, if you are not subscribed, click the subscribe button. Follow us on all of our social media pages. Of course, of all the pages, we have just monetized on Facebook. I don't know how the fuck that happens. I'm surprised. Like, I just recently posted the clips. Like Facebook is very like.
But shut up.
Yeah,
give me money.
Hey, we'll take it. Make sure you go out and pick up some of our merchandise as well. And we do have a big name guest coming up soon that we will be announcing later on in the week. You know, very big adult film star guest that will be coming later on in the week. We're also working on a couple of other things down the tube that we'll be announcing, and we're going to try to get back out in the community and do some more local features. I did talk to the guy from that place that gave me that cake, the naughty cake place. So I got a hold of him via email. I need to call.
Okay. All right.
So that'll be fun to go out there and feature them and have like all the tick cakes and the dick cakes.
Yeah,
and
seems like a cool guy.
You know, all that
they
stuff.
make all sorts of cakes there too.
Yeah. So, but what we're going to do real quick, it seems like Kaylee is trying to get into the room and do her thing. So what I'm going to do real quick is we're going to get into one of our news articles. And speaking of all the dick talk that we just had, and so
there seems to be.
Actually, you know what? I'll save that for when Kaylee comes in because I want to ask her opinion on that. So since we're drinking margaritas, what we're going to do, we're going to also get into our featured shot. Feature shot I didn't do last week, so we're going to do it now.
Oh, we're just
so here's that. We're just
getting right into it.
So of course our featured shot is Fireball. So I wanted to
Dun,
get
dun,
tequila, but of course,
dun, dun.
running late and all that shit.
Yeah.
Matt picked those
Yes,
up on his
I
way here.
hit traffic
So,
coming in here,
yeah.
and my
There's
God,
some sort of vicious accident going on right up the road from my house.
I
So,
know.
yeah.
I was
Like-
totally like blown by because right there, 702 is very that's where you
Oh,
hit
yeah.
the jets.
Oh
Everyone,
yeah. That's
if
like
you're going
you
like
just
you know,
not because the airport is there, but because that's where everybody just takes flight.
hell yeah, dude.
That's
Like
the whole thing.
I don't like to sit here and say, oh, I don't recommend speeding and shit, but
Matt recommends
I recommend
driving very, very fast, light speed.
hitting the pedal on the right.
You
as
believe you
hard
are
as you
Buzz
can.
Lightyear. So
but
here we go.
everyone
Cheers.
does that. So,
There's that.
but yeah, I have no idea what happened.
Fireball is always super refreshing. Hey, so there we go. So since we have the Cayman Jack margaritas, what we're going to get into is the largest margarita in the world.
Ooh.
So it says Lucky Rita, when Vegas made the largest margarita in the world. And it says here, when it comes to margaritas, bigger is definitely better, which unfortunately that guy in the bathroom did not see bigger because he did not feel better about it. So, and it says there's no margarita quite as gigantic as the Lucky Rita that was concocted in October 2011. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit this, and then we're going to go ahead and share page. Then that way everybody here. So that's it right there, apparently. So that's the Lucky Rita. That? I don't know. So let's see. It says standing a whopping 30 feet and containing over 8,500 gallons of the citrusy cocktail.
Holy
the Lucky Rita holds the Guinness World Record for the largest margarita in the world. As expected, she's firmly situated right at the heart of the bustling Sin City,
I was about to
Las
say that.
Vegas. I mean, like,
how, be in Vegas.
Like, how many people? I wonder if it says how many people it took to drink that entire fucking thing. Like it says, mixed in 2011, celebrate the opening of Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville Casino, which makes fucking sense, at the Flamingo in Las Vegas. Lucky Rita is truly the margarita lover's dream come true. It took a team of skilled mixologists over 300 hours to concoct the perfect recipe and mix all the ingredients together in the giant tank.
Dude, we should go there.
Like, yeah. Well, I've been to Vegas, but I didn't see that. I don't think that is there anymore. So, but no, like, I mean, that's the thing. But so it says there, but then it also says the Lucky Rita is made with 2,125 gallons of Margarita Gold tequila, 708 gallons of Margaritaville triple sec, 5,667 gallons of Margaritaville margarita mix, and 22,304 limes. So, like, I wonder if there was like a national limes shortage in 2011. So now I'm going to look up national lime shortage 2011 and see if that exists. Because if that's the case, then no, we are not getting that. We are getting 2011 Kia Sportage, which is a vehicle. That is not what I want. So there was not a lime sportage or a shortage then, because
their whole economy rests.
Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, so, and then it says, eventually the last pour was done by 5 p.m. while over 1,000 spectators witnessed the historical moment. But Lucky Rita wasn't just a record-breaking attraction. She's also a symbol of the Las Vegas life. Vibrant, intoxicating, and of course, exciting. The city is known for its lively nightlife and party culture, and Lucky Rita embodies the spirit perfectly down to what it is and how it was made. So whether you're a local or a tourist, a margarita lover, or just looking for a fun time, Lucky Rita is a must-see and taste experience. So if you're planning a trip to Las Vegas, be sure to stop by and snap a photo with this iconic cocktail. So wait, so is it still filled with margarita? Like, I know, like, of course, like, like wine and like liquor, it kind of really like never goes bad. Like wine just kind of, you can have like a fine wine that's like 100 years old. Like, and liquor kind of never really expires either.
Yes. But
this has been sitting there since 2011.
Right. And
so
ends with wine and liquors and so storage. Okay.
Yeah.
That fucking things look like it's just outside of a
boiling in the heat.
Right. It looks like a just sitting outside of a strip mall.
And And the whole thing is it says, you know, so that thing's like boiling. And real quick, I'm going to go over to the thread because I like to try to keep in touch with you guys on here. Jason said, will you guys be back on tomorrow night as well? No, Jason, we're not. Our double shots were last month to get caught up on guests. Jason also said, is the guest that's going to be on the podcast? Okay, so that was one that you read already. And then Walter said, can you invite Kendra Lust or Nikki Benz? Kendra Lust, I have reached out to in the past. Nikki Benz, actually, I don't have the footage anymore. Nikki Benz was on my old local access TV show, Happy Hour TV, back in 2011. However,
Ben's still in the
yeah, she is. She actually just made a comeback recently. Really? So maybe, you know, we'll try to get
we've had her on.
No, we haven't had Kendra Lust. We had Kendra James. We had Kendra James. Okay. So Kendra Lust, you know, of course, but there's plenty of time. This podcast isn't going anywhere. You know, we always, of course, I always joke around. Kendra Lust is one of those ones. And, you know, one of our guests that we're going to have that's going to announce soon basically completes like Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, like putting the last stone in of having every porn star that's nominated in a MILF category on our show. There's one main one that we still have not had on our show. We've had Natasha Nice, we've had Corey Chase, we've had Sarah J, we've had Reagan Fox, we've had every single pretty much
I like that
is nominated for, like, when we went into the AVNs, all of them but the one that is going to be announced in the next week or two, we're all nominated for an AVN for the MILF category.
Please
we're
tell
all
me,
on our show at one point.
We got our artwork.
Yes, you know, we do. Okay. We do have the artwork. The artwork will drop. Awesome. I don't want to announce it yet until we have the artwork done, and then we will announce it right here on our official website and Twitter and, you know, all that stuff. Of course, make sure you go over to www.thehhpod.com. If anybody new is coming in tonight, there's a whole log. If you go over to connect/guests, you can go over to our whole entire log, and it has every episode we've ever had. So if you want to pick and choose, watch one with Natasha Nice, watch one with, you know, Sarah J, or if you want to watch one of our regular non-adult film star guests, make sure you go over. All of our support is always, you know, appreciated for everything. But no, back to the giant margarita. So that thing's sitting there boiling. So that thing needs the, like,
it's
the
fucking unsanitary to leave it out there.
It's like the Toxic Avenger, like inside of that, like, you know, like, so, I mean, so it was put there, like, why go to all that work? Like, I feel like that's a lot of money. That's at least like $1 million in lines. Like, you go and put all that work in and put all of this money in.
I'll drink it.
But it's still, like, I would drink it now. Like, I wouldn't care. Like, if I had enough to drink, be like, oh, whatever, fuck it. Like, I'm sure I've drank a lot worse and eaten a lot worse in my lifetime while drunk. You know, it's,
dude,
so.
Did I ever tell this story when I went to that one fucking bar and I was dancing with some chick? This was like, obviously back in the day. And I can't remember who the fuck I was with. You know him. We've partied with him before. It was random. Can't remember his goddamn name. But it was just us. We were fucking at damn. It was like a Spanish type restaurant. In its closed sense. Anyway, dude, I was so
Don
drunk.
Pablo's?
It might have been Don Pablo's or one of those. But I picked up a random drink. Just like off of the table and just chugged it while the guy was sitting there, and he's like watched me chugged it in amazement. It was his drink. And I set it down and I said, woo, and I just like left. Like but it's not, he looked at me, but he not like in the type like, dude, I want to whip your ass or done. He just like looked at me in amazement.
Yeah.
Because like, I literally was dancing, like doing the whole fucking fist bump shit. You know, like, and this shit, random chick was like dancing on me, and I like reached down, grabbed this guy's beer off his table, and start chugging it, put it down, and then I was like, you know, I literally just, when I say I left, I more like stumbled out of that bar. As soon as I fucking drank his beer, and he just kind of was just so shocked, probably like that guy that saw your dick.
Yeah. Well,
he was so shocked.
Who saw my dick. Like, he got that shock from you, and then later on in life, he got the shock of my dick.
That poor guy.
Yeah,
I think
he
needs counseling.
Yeah, he needs some sort of, I hope he doesn't scale a bridge and jump down on the train tracks or whatever. I know that's too soon. That's wrong. I should not be doing that. But no. So it's the kind of thing that, we used to do that when I worked at the bowling alley. Like there'd be so many times where people wouldn't finish drinks, or they would have a whole entire pitcher of beer that they want to finish, and we would be cleaning up. And I mean, we didn't have the heart to just throw that shit out or just dump it out. We're just kind of like, all right, whatever, fuck it. So we used to always sit there and party. Like I told you before, there was all kinds of shit that happened in that bowling alley. Like I was super young when I worked there.
I'm surprised that wasn't like shut down for sanitary reasons.
All that shit, like all that. Like I mean, we had a wild fucking time.
Right.
We would do food fights. That there was a time. Okay, so here's a story for you. There was
Ocean would have cleaned up in there.
Oh,
they'd have been like. Yeah, we're shutting this shit.
There was a time that one of the guys I worked with, he was another one of the mechanics. Like he was like, "Hey, you should make it look like that I'm kidnapped, and I'll go run out while the leagues are on the floor." Like one of our biggest leagues that were out there. I was like, "Well, how do you plan on doing that?" He's like, "Just tape me to the chair." So I tape him to the chair. Like I take like this big solid like fucking tape that we use on like the bowling alley machines and shit. I'm wrapping it around his arm. So he's taped to the chair like this. I wrapped it all the way around his fucking head. And like his eye was just kind of like this, like out of the tape. And then like he gets up and he picks the chair up like this and he's running, screaming. And he runs out the back, runs all the way around. Like the leagues are on the floor. And he's like, and like he stops, looks at people, screams, and then runs. And then he goes out the front door. Everybody's all fucked up. And of course, our manager, who was cool as shit, he called in the back. He was like, "Hey, what the fuck are you guys doing?" Whatever. And I was just like, I don't know what that was, man. Like Shane wanted me to sit there and act like he was being kidnapped. And that's exactly what we did. He's the same guy who I think I told the story before. We made a pin bomb out of a duck pin. And what we did is we took a duck pin and we drilled a hole in the top of it and filled it up with all kinds of chemicals and lacquer thinner and all that and shoved a rag in it. And we were going to light it.
And made a duck. It was a duck pin.
Yeah. It was
a duck pin Molotov.
It was a duck pin Molotov cocktail. And we did it. We did all the work, and he was talking about it. So he went to light it, and he wouldn't light it. He was afraid to. I was like, "No, bitch, you got to light it now." Like, and he's like, "I'm not sure, man." And then he took it home and he lit it. And he's like, "Man, I'm glad I didn't light that there because he lit it like fucking like at least like a mile away." And he said, when that thing fucking blew up, I'm not sure if anybody's ever held a duck pin in their hand, but that thing's like solid plastic, like really hard, solid plastic. Yeah. And he said, when that thing blew up, scratnel just fucking flew.
That's fucking
everywhere.
Wow, you're gonna have the ATF
fucking unreal. Like imagine that. Like imagine like someone showing up like during a war and they have like a fucking duck pin and they're just like, "Here you go, bitch." Woo! Like, that's completely insane.
Right, Jason wants to know how long it would take everybody to drink that big ass margarita.
I don't know. Like, here's the thing. Like, not how long it would take, but how many people it would take. Like that's the whole thing. Like, how many people do you need?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Drink the world's largest, largest margarita.
Look, I'll be honest. Well, I would say maybe in my early 20s because I was still kind of an amateur, but I'm going to tell you like towards the end of my 20s. You're still an
amateur now, Cupcake.
I'm telling you like because I don't do as much drinking anymore. And I recently have stopped smoking marijuana.
Yes.
I know. Terrible.
Yes. We need to hold a funeral live here on the show for your
terrible.
smoking.
For no reasons of my own. It's all reasons, nothing bad. But anyway.
Just reasons. That's all they are, reasons.
But back in that day, dude, all I would need is probably me, probably Ray, and my boy Mike, and we could probably finish that in 2 hours.
Oh,
no, maybe not 2 hours, but give us the night, and we could probably drink that.
Even if it wasn't me, you, and Mike, if you were to sit there, me, you, Mike, and then my friend Chris, and my friend Bobby, and my friend Kenny, and you put all of us together, I guarantee you we would, because like me, Chris, Kenny, and Bobby killed a keg in one night when we were camping. That was in the fucking, like, we killed it in like 2 days, like solid, just straight through, like just us. Like, so that's the whole thing. Like, so it takes a lot to, go through that shit and all that.
I bet we could do it. The challenge.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Just the challenge of doing it. Like,
I would probably need a liver replacement, but
no, I mean, that's the thing now. Like, if you do it now, you're probably going to need more than a liver replacement. Because I'm sure it's so stagnant. Like, like I don't know if anybody watching is familiar with the Inner Harbor here down in Baltimore. It's the dirtiest fucking water that you can possibly drink. The harbor water is probably better to drink than what that margarita currently is. Like, that's completely insane.
And the dead bodies don't really help. It does give it flavor, but
oh, it definitely does. And
the dead body marinade.
So another thing too is, since we're on the whole margarita theme and all that, and hopefully Kaylee, she should be coming through relatively soon.
She text you or anything, or she?
No, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit that, because a lot of times we'll do that and then they'll pop through. But no, so like one thing is, have you ever, and once Kaylee comes through, I'm gonna ask her as well. Have you ever, well, actually, I don't even need to ask this question because I know the answer. Have you ever seen someone or assaulted someone or been assaulted with like a taco, burrito, something like that, like a rando tacoing or burritoing? Because as that comes out of my mouth, I go, I know like
Ray,
3 instances where I was with you when you've accosted me with a fucking burrito.
Yeah, one was just like recently after I took that. Oh, there she is. She made it.
Hello, how are you?
Hello.
How you doing? Welcome to the Happy Hour podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. We're sitting here. Of course, it's Sinko De Mayo. And, we were talking about in Las Vegas, they made the world's largest margarita, and they did it in 2011. And apparently no one ever drank it. Like, it's there on display. And I'm like, could you imagine how fucking stagnant that probably is right now? Like,
sitting there. I'll still drink it.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's probably like the Toxic Avenger. And I was asking Matt, have you ever at any point, like, on a random night, and Kaylee, I'm not sure if you're a big drinker or anything like that, but have you ever had a night where you were drinking or you were just hanging out with friends and you've seen someone assault somebody or get assaulted by somebody, by a taco or a burrito? Just literally, like, maybe slap somebody just right across the, like, have you seen any of those videos recently where like they take like the little
the tortilla,
the tortilla, and they're just
they slap
shit out of people? Because what was it? It was the one night that we were
just recently.
That was recently. Like, we were out and we were doing a local feature, and Matt got like this burrito, and he's just sitting there fucking eating it.
I was trashed, by the way. But
and you fucking assaulted, like, you got mad because I asked you to leave. And you assaulted me with this fucking burrito. And it's just like, dude.
I'm not sure if you asked me to leave. I'm not sure what it was. It was a lot of anger.
You're leaving the bar and you were angry.
Okay, that might be it. But they had put jalapenos in it, and I specifically didn't want jalapenos.
Yeah.
And I was kind of mad because they did that. So I retracted my anger, like, and just let it out on you. Just couldn't help myself.
And then there was a night we were out. It's actually when we were coming back from Exotica. We were coming back from Exotica. We stopped. We got Taco Bell. And you took a soft taco and you just lapped it on my thigh like it was a dick. Just like, you looked at me. You're like, "What are you going to do about it?" And I'm just like, I guess I need to suck it now. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do about it. Like, it's there. Like, what do you mean?
I'd have tasted it. You would have sucked it though.
Yeah. And then I remember there was a night also where me and my friends were drunk and we're driving home, and there was a guy passed out in a cab and his window was halfway down. And for some reason, one of my buddies was like, "Hey, he looks hungry." And the dude's like this. He doesn't look hungry at all. So he takes his taco and we're like this, car to car. And he throws his taco and it goes out the window into the under window, hits the guy in the face. And it just kind of goes like that. And we were at a red light.
Okay.
And like, I'm like, this dude's
gonna like a drive-by tacoing.
Yes.
All right.
And
I was about to say, if you were still driving and he managed to do that, like, I was like, Jesus Christ, he needs to be signed up for like the NFL or something. That's hard to do.
And Kaylee, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. We're not like every other show. We're not going to bombard you with 20, questions right off the back or anything like that. We shoot the shit and just see where we end up. That's how the show kind of flows. So we were talking about a little bit earlier when we got started. My wife had watched a video where 2 guys were debating on how males pee. So it's the whole thing of, I asked Matt, I was like, "Hey, let me ask you a question." And we kind of pee the same way. Like the guys were debating that one guy, he says that what he does is he unzips, he pulls he just pulls his whole, he pulls his member out, pisses, all that, and then zips up, puts it back in. And I'm just kind of like,
You can
well,
say
I don't
dick.
know, like,
You don't have to say
yeah,
member.
I know what I can say on my own show. God damn it. But so what I do is I pull it out
Member.
and I pull out my dick and my balls at the same time, and my dick just kind of rests on my balls and I pee. And Matt's like, well, I do it the same way. And I'm like, well, and my wife was shocked. She's like, well, you don't like unzip and then like, just fish your dick out. Like, I'm like, well, see, that's the thing. Like, you know how much time I would lose in my life if I unzipped, undid my boxers, undid whatever, fucking fished my dick out, boom, boom. When I can just
seems like a
pull my pants
lot of
down,
work.
flop it out, piss, not do any work because it's resting on my balls, flop it back in, and then boom.
Who does that?
Yeah,
Like this
like,
is the 1930s.
So you've
right?
seen a lot of dicks. So
Yeah.
have you ever seen any, like, have you seen people piss? And when you have, which way did they do it? Did they do the whole, let me do all this work, or did they just flip that thing out? Let it
I
rip?
think I've seen both ways, honestly.
Which way to you do you
Is the
think
normal
is
way.
the normal way? Which
Yeah,
way?
I think whatever is more quicker and efficient. I guess it depends on how bad you have to pee too. Like if you have to pee really bad, like just whip it out. We don't got time for the game.
That's what I mean. I would. I'm always in a hurry, so I'm just like, I whip that thing out and I go.
Yeah,
Go
like they
down.
just sit there, they piss, and she looks. She's like,
I don't
"That
even-
person's totally a sociopath." By
Like,
the way, they're
like I
peeing.
said, I don't even shake that motherfucker. I just let it go, just stuff it back in, and I go.
And
Just-
Kaylee, of course, we're here on YouTube Live. Everybody's already active in the live stream. Of course, you're in the adult film industry. We don't need to even, state that. What, with being in the adult film industry, what do you think is one of the worst injuries, if you've gotten any? What the worst injuries are that you've gotten in the adult film?
I don't think I've ever really gotten any injuries. I think the only thing is I don't know. I feel like my pussy's been cut because it's just been stuffed and it's fucked dry. I don't know, but I don't really get many injuries. I've had 4 hip surgeries.
Oh, Jesus.
So so I have major hip problems. So on some positions I'm like my hip, but
So is that from porn? Like the hip issues? Is that from?
no,
Okay.
no.
I was
got it from I was
young for all those hip problems and all that.
I competitively danced from forever, but I danced from 2 to 16 and I got 4 hip surgeries when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
Well, technically 16, 17, basically my last 2 years of high school.
Wow. Holy shit. Well, my shout out to you. I wrestled over 20 years. Fortunately, never had to get any surgeries. My body's beaten to shit. But yeah, I have nothing compared to
You got an
four
ankle
hips.
problem, though, don't you?
Ankle. I have an everything problem. Ankle problem, back problem.
Yeah. Work hard on your body, very hard on your body. And I did a lot of point ballet, I did everything. So, but definitely ballet is so hard on your body and your feet and your joints.
Because with ballet, you have to balance on your toes at all times, right? Have you has it ever been the kind of thing where your toes have been just so fucking wrecked that you're just kind of what the fuck?
My toes, I feel are permanently this.
They're like eagle talons. You go to pull your
toes.
shoes. Yeah, it's just,
That's a turn on for me, though.
yeah, she can sit there just someone screws with her. She just eagle claws right into their fucking throat.
They're good at picking up things, though.
How can we?
A mouse gets in her house around Christmas time, and she just zooms down like an eagle. No, it's weird because of course with ballet you wear those those shoes that are they're so tight and they wrap around your ankles, and it kind of looks I'm not sure if you've ever seen Chinese foot binding. It reminds me of that. Where they basically sit there and try to bind somebody's feet, their foot will be this long and they'll bind it, and then their foot will be that long, and that's kind of reminds me of, because you're sitting there balancing and it can't be good on your toes or anything like that.
It looks beautiful, but it cannot be good for your body.
My ankle wants to snap in half just thinking about that.
My
Like
God.
that's the whole
Literally crazy.
So have you had like any kind of like major injuries with that? Is it mainly just the hip stuff or?
Yeah, just hip stuff. I've never broken anything in my life. I've just had those 4 hip surgeries and yeah.
Oh.
But
And like with the dancing, like I guess once you got done like with the ballet, did that turn into like dancing as an adult too, or?
no, so like once I had the first 2 hip surgeries, they told me like I could go back to dancing and like I could be back. I was like trying out for like a different team.
Okay.
And so like I would try it out, I made team. And then while I was dancing, I was like, I don't think it feels right. And I went to a different doctor and they're like, you retore everything.
Oh,
Wow.
geez.
And so yeah, so then I had to get surgery again. But the thing was is per hip, it was 6 months per hip, and you can't do both hips at the same time. So you have to wait like 6 months and then go back
Oh,
6
so
months.
you had to have it done on each. Oh,
So there's
fuck.
like 2 years of my life. And then like I had plans to like dance. But obviously after 2 years, I was like, do I really wanna like go through all of that again to like catch up too? Cause I had to catch up, like, yeah. So I was like, no, it's okay. Throw it away.
So how did ballet and like I try not to ask really generic basic questions on the show, but now I'm intrigued. How did the dancing with the ballet and all that and the hip injuries migrate into porn? Like that, like how did it get from that to that? Was it just kind of like, oh well, I can't dance anymore. Let me just fuck. Like I mean, like,
No, so what happened was, so I was working a normal job. I was working at Nordstrom, and then a friend of mine had told me about webcamming, and webcamming was like the stepping stone for me to get into porn. And I was making so much money webcamming, and then I was like recruited for a solo for Twisties, like treat of the month thing.
man,
And
I
then
haven't heard of twisties in a long, like
I
in a
know.
while. Like for those
They're
young,
still doing the treat of the month thing, I guess. I don't know.
like for those watching at home, like just hearing webcamming instead of just camming, like
Yeah.
you know, it like people are probably like what's a webcam? Because most like
Now I
cams
feel
are built
old.
in, like most of them know them as cameras in the computer or whatever and all that. Like I remember the webcam that you had to mount onto
Yeah.
you know, computer and all that shit. It's
And
like
also
you're on
you had
aim.
flag and
Yeah,
lights
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
You have it on there and it's like aiming. You're like ASL. Da, 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 da. And then you're like, oh, I have a cam. And then they're like, no thanks. Such and such is logged off. And you're just like, damn it. On to another.
I remember this. That was the Wild West.
So
though,
it's
man.
better.
Yeah.
That was the Wild
Yeah.
West.
That was when porn first began, when you heard the dial-up noise and like someone was on the phone and you're like, damn it, Dave, get off the fucking phone. I'm trying to watch Kelly Roses. Get the fuck off the fucking phone. Like, I mean, do you remember that time? Like, you know, do you remember like LimeWire and Kazaa and all that shit? And like you would go, like it would mainly be for music. But like me, I'm sitting there downloading like a full-length porn. And you're sitting, you're waiting. It's like it says 9 hours. So you're like, all right, fuck. You know, I can go upstairs. I can play some GoldenEye on 64. I'll come back down. This will be ready to go. The next thing you come down, you lose connection, and you're just like, yeah.
I remember it took like 2 days to download this fucking scene with man, what's the one? Jenna Hayes. You remember Jenna Hayes?
Yes.
Yeah. It took like 2 days to fucking download that thing.
Oh,
And I
man.
only got
By
like
that time, you have the candles out. You have like the lotion ready.
I
You're
was ready.
at it.
I was ready. I have a small short story about that too. I was downstairs. I waited 2 days. Okay. This is probably back in high school, maybe. Yeah, something like that. And so I was sitting there waiting at like all 2 days. And finally it got downloaded. I put my fucking headphones on and everything. Because I like to get into it. I'm sitting there watching it and everything ready, the lotion, everything. I was just watching. Like, oh yeah. And then I heard like my mom like upstairs, like in the refrigerator. I was like, oh shit. And she started, man, what are you still doing up? And it's like, because it's like late as shit in the morning. You got school. I was like, oh. So I get up. I still had the headphones attached to my head. So I'm like, whoa, this fucking yanks me. And I swear, I still feel this kink in my neck because of that.
I was hoping that I was going to go to direction where you had the headphones in so you didn't hear her. So you're violently masturbating downstairs. And it's the kind of thing where she walks down the steps like, Matt, would you like a slice of, oh my God.
No, that's sometimes how a porn actually starts. So no, that did not happen.
And of course, you have OnlyFans, correct? I think everybody on the planet has OnlyFans. What are some of the craziest requests you get on that? Like, have you ever had a request where you sat there and you had to like re-examine your existence or like re-examine your life because of a request that you got?
Yeah, gotten all kinds, definitely. I don't know, like, trying to think what is the craziest. I don't know, maybe not like crazy that I could think of off the top of my head, but I've just had things that are like super silly, like put ketchup and mustard on your feet, or like
I want you to seductively eat Pringles. One.
Yes.
And then you go elbow deep in the can and it gets stuck on it and makes it look like you have a fucking robot machine gun arm. Like,
yes.
See,
right, you paid me, whatever. Let me shove my arm into this can.
Yeah, exactly. So
I wish I could eat Pringles. Seductively, I just, you like that? Coming from me,
I've had one that was like a burping fetish, and that was like hard because I had a burp on command. So I was like chugging, and I don't really love soda as much. So I was like drinking these like prebiotic sodas. And I didn't realize they had caffeine, and I was up for like all night, like the whole night. I was like, oh no.
So you can burp on command?
I mean, I can if I drink like something.
Can you
bubbly.
Yeah. So you can't just...
I can't do it unless I like, I gotta drink something.
I wonder, like, now that
it's my hidden talent show.
Like, I wonder if anybody's ever sit there, they're mid blowjob and they're like, I'm gonna burp. I wonder if you can do that. Like, if that motion can happen because like when I did it, I felt it build up here and I felt it like rumble up and come out. And I'm like, does that turn into vomit at that point? Like, I don't know, like I wonder if anybody's ever was like, I'm gonna burp while this is down there and I'm gonna rumble that thing and we're gonna see what happens. Just random thoughts.
Well, I'm logging into Kelly Rose's OnlyFans tonight, and that's what she's gonna be doing. She's gonna be burping.
Yeah, Matt's like, you are gonna be burping. Eating Pringles and burping.
Yes.
So Kelly, what we're going to do is we do news articles on the show. As I said, it's a little bit different from most shows. A lot of shows bombard you with questions, mainly talk about, whatever. We're just kind of all over the place and we like it that way. So what we're going to do, of course, is Sinko De Mayo. So we're going to get into a little bit of random facts on the history of tequila. So it says the tequila that you know and love today dates back to the Aztec civilization. It says
they used to sacrifice children.
And it says the first versions of tequila date back to 1000 BC. It says the tequila we know and love today didn't start off the way we know it now. In its earliest version, it was known as alcohol, like Pulque, Pulque. And it was made from fermented sap of the agave plant by Aztec civilization. Oh no, like that's not tequila. That's like they're tripping balls off of fucking fermented sap from an agave plant. Like that's the way that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it says
agave is good.
Yeah, which is now northern Mexico. And the same technique likely dates back to 1000 BC and was used by the Olmecs and even prehistoric Mesoamerican civilizations. Pulque, I can't say that word to save my life, was first documented via pictograms on stone walls around 200 AD. So around those times, they're making hieroglyphics of people drinking fucking tequila. Like, that's amazing. Like, you have people who like they're potentially flying off in spaceships and people drinking fucking tequila. Like, that's
I find it so wild that we have been fucked up for centuries.
Yeah. And it says the Spanish invasion led to the distillation process for agave. So when the Spanish invasion happened, they couldn't do it that way. So they started to distill tequila from there. And then it says tequila was first commercially produced in the 1700s. In 1758, the Cuervo family, which everybody knows Cuervo, began distilling tequila in 1873, and the Salzal family followed. And if these names don't sound familiar to you, they should. Both Cuervo and Salzo are some of the most popular brand names on the market. They have one is to identify blue agave for the best option for making tequila today, and the other to be classified as tequila. It must be made from blue agave specifically. So, okay, so it still gets made from the agave plants. Oh man. So from there, the popularity took a life of its own and became most famous for famous mixed drinks. Now, did you know that with tequila, like vodka was like super popular like back in the day, and tequila got its popularity from James Bond, because if you remember the shaken not stirred, like they used the Cuervo tequila for that, and that's how that became popular. So
wow, right.
Yeah.
Thanks for that history lesson. I'm so much fucking smarter than it.
And Kelly, have you ever been to Mexico? Have you ever like taken a trip to Mexico or anything like that?
Not as an adult.
Not as an oh man, it's awesome. If you ever get a chance, go. We always go and do the all-inclusive resorts, which is absolutely insane. You go there, you can eat your weight, drink your weight, you know, whatever you want to do. And there's this eco park there called Shell High. You can like jump off a cliff, swim in like caverns and shit, like all kinds of
don't take our buddy Socrates.
Yes, just do not take him, which was a sad note. Yeah, it's too soon, way too soon.
Okay.
He jumped off of a bridge and got ran over by a train earlier this week and is in the hospital and may never walk again. Yeah, so Matt's taking unnecessary shots as he cackles like a little girl over in the corner, like, I can't believe I just fucking did that. And of course, with conventions. So you do any of the conventions?
I do. I haven't in a while since COVID. I definitely want to go to Avians this next year.
Okay. Have you ever gotten any weird experiences from any of the conventions or anything like that?
What do you mean by that?
Like, have you ever had anybody come up, and this is very common in the adult industry, where
this
someone
is my
comes up
sock,
and-
can you sign it?
Not only that, but someone goes, yeah, like, I've been talking to you for like 2 years, and like we're best friends, and like I've sent you like $10,000 and you know all that stuff, and you're like, dude, I've never met you a day in my life. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I don't think some of these guys read the disclaimer, man.
Yeah, like it's the kind of thing where it's like Kaylee Roses has messaged you, and it's just kind of like you got to sit there and think to yourself, why am I so special that Kaylee Roses is going out of her way to message me? It should be vice versa. Like, you know,
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people think that. And actually, I forgot you have your name tattooed on you.
Yeah.
Like, so what made you sit there and think, okay, I'm gonna have my name? And of course, Kaylee Roses, of course, that's probably that's just your porn name, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as I say in wrestling, your gimmick name. So what made you sit there and go, I'm gonna get my gimmick name tattooed on the back?
I was with some friends at the time at a tattoo convention in Hawaii, and we were getting tattoos done, and like, I don't know, we just wanted to get something cool. So I was just like, I'm going to get my name tatted on my legs. And I did. And then I got my name trademarked and realized there was like a Christian country singer at the time that was like really popular with the same name. So I just like later on tattooed an S. And it worked out. So
there you go.
Has anybody ever sat there and looked at it like you take somebody home and they sit there and like, hey, why do you have the name Kaylee and the name Roses tattooed on your leg? And you're like, no, it's Kaylee. Like, don't you know anything?
Yeah.
like what's happening here? Like it's bad enough that you're a schizophrenic by roping your junk all the way through like your jeans and it out like that. Like I'm already like terrified because of that. And speaking of which, we actually have in the live stream, Jason said your tattoos look really cool. Kaylee. So what all tattoo? Like I've seen some of them online, but what are there any that are your favorites?
That's so hard. I have so many favorites. I really love like this one on my arm. It says, but without the star, or but without the darkness, we'd never see the stars. And it's like two skeletons kissing. I don't know. I have so many favorites. My dog.
What's the one I saw on a photo? It looks like you have like kind of like someone wearing like a dom mask or something like that, like a domination
Yes,
or whatever.
that's my ski mask girl.
It like with the ski mask girl, or you just kind of like, I want a bitch wearing a ski mask, or was there any reason like for that, like for the ski mask? And of course, the heart.
There was literally no reason for it. Honestly, I wish it wasn't as big as it is because everyone thinks it's like something else until you're like up close. But yeah, I just liked it. It says like I think it says. I'm like, what does it say?
Wait a minute. What did I have tattooed onto my body
For eternity?
You're looking, you're just like, wait a minute. Like it's right here live on this podcast when you realize that what you had tattooed on you wasn't what you wanted to have tattooed on you.
Yeah. Wait a second.
Wait a minute. I can't read upside down. This is something about making money, and that's why I got it.
you sit there, you're at a convention, and somebody's just kind of like, look at my tattoo, and it says Kaylee Roses on the back of their thighs, and they're like, I got this just like you, and you're just kind of like, yeah. I gotta go to the bathroom, like, and then you sit there and you look, you're like, get me the fuck out of here right now. Put me in the car, beat as fast as you can, because this shit is weird. Like I get all the time, like, because I deliver copiers for a living, so I get all the time, like, I'll go into like customers' offices, like, do you ever get that thing where like someone just like abruptly grabs your arm and they're like, oh my god, let me see, like, or whatever, and like I'm just kind of like, I don't mind, like, I appreciate you like them or whatever, and all that.
Yeah,
but like, why are you just like pulling
like,
touch me without permission.
Like, and I'm like, Christ, like, what would happen? Like, of course, I have like some on my legs, and then I have like a big that I just started on my back. And I'm like, so what's gonna happen now? Like, are you gonna grab like my back skin and
takes your shirt off?
let me look at this Jason that's murdering somebody on your back. Like, let me get a good fucking look at this, because I have a whole Friday the 13th thing going on my back. Like him squeezing somebody's head and their eyeballs like flying out. And like fucking like, yeah, it's insane how like people just kind of take liberties with that kind of stuff. And like, have you ever, of course, another thing that's in the stream too is, have you ever worked with kink? Have you ever done anything with kink?
So I've done my own like stuff where I've had like submissives and things like that, but I've never done like shop for actual like kink.com or anything.
Okay. Yeah. And then we also got a comment saying that they love your pee videos. So do you do pee videos?
I've done one pee video.
Yeah, one pee video. Okay.
Oh, he did one.
So I guess when they say they love your pee videos, maybe they've watched it like 40 times over, and like each time it's a different experience.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
Sometimes it has candles, pants, sometimes there's no pants. When you do a pee video, like, do you sit there and like drink like water all day long and just let it build up?
I didn't see this video. Are you doing the peeing or your partner doing the peeing?
So I guess two, because I've done one where somebody's peed on me, and I've done where I've just like peed outside, and that's like a fetish.
Oh, okay. So I thought,
like just where you're like, oh my god, it was like, actually it was more like an acting thing with a friend. We were like, oh my god, like we're locked outside and we have to pee so bad, and like
that sounds like me every day. Like, I'm surprised I
haven't been
outside in this podcast.
Yeah, like,
I could be being paid right now to go pee on the fucking fire hydrant.
It's funny because like we were talking about beforehand, I was in Giant with my wife shopping, and the way that the bathroom was set up is the urinal was here and the bathroom stall was here, and the door kicked open enough to where it didn't hit the urinal, but if I looked over, I see right into the stall. So like, that's how close it is. So I'm pissing, junk balls, everything out, pissing, and like the door flies open, and like I turn around and this guy's just like deer in headlights or whatever and all that. I just slowly turn around, I look, and he looked at me and he's like, I'm just like, what's up? And he's just, this is a very bad design. And then it's one of those things where I see him like 4 more times throughout the store. And each time I know he's thinking about seeing my junk because he's just like, I saw that dude's junk. Like,
You reach for the bread at the same time and you touch hands.
We're reaching for like, what is it? Grapefruit or whatever. Like we're reaching for the grapefruit. And he's just like, and I'm like, look familiar, sir? Like,
You reach for the cucumber, like
yeah. I just figured so with something like that, so I guess with the pee videos, so you did one where you were peeing outside, and then you did one where someone actually peed on you. So with that, I guess, do they like drink water all day and then just let it rip, and you're just kind of sitting there like, all right, yeah, dude, it's been like a minute and like this is like the Grand fucking Canyon. Can you please like just like, do you like put your finger on like the hole of their dick to like try to like just cut off the pressure? Yeah, you just plug it like fucking, what is it, Flex Seal or so? You take Flex Seal and just slap it on there and it just fucking stops like on command or something.
That would be hilarious.
There you go. That's your next.
You're like, no more.
I want somebody in the thread to request Flex Seal as pee. Like just boom, slap it right on there.
Wow.
And somebody said in the thread earlier before you came through, they said that you're huge in Brazil. So we have people tuning in from Brazil tonight. So they're like, I think it's like fuck, like 3 a.m. or some shit.
He's up
in
late
Brazil.
flashing,
So
like, hey.
yeah, he's just sitting there.
Hey,
like,
Brazil.
and Kaylee, what we're gonna do real quick is you still got a little bit of time to hang out, right? Like we normally run an hour, sometimes we go a little bit over. We're gonna take a quick break right here. We're gonna play some ads, probably like a 4-minute or so break if you want to grab a drink, use the bathroom, and then when we come back, we're gonna get into our game segments. So we're gonna take a break right here on YouTube Live, and then we'll be right back here with Kaylee Roses, and we're going to get into our game segments and a bunch of other fun stuff. So, of course, you're watching the Happy Hour podcast right here on YouTube Live.
Hi, this is Brenna McKenna, and you're watching the Happy Hour podcast.
Hello, my name is Bubba Almany. I am a bodyguard who has been in the security industry for over a decade. My team and I offer a variety of security services that cover all aspects of security operations. We have secured some of the highest profile clients and largest events in the world. Should your situation require armed protection, we have the ability to carry in all 50 states and U.S. territories. Not only do we have the latest security equipment, we also have world-class training. We look forward to assisting all of your security needs by bringing you the finest and most dedicated security personnel available. From the Office of the President of the United States to local county and state dignitaries, my tactical dignitary protection officers are the tip of the spear in this extremely competitive industry. Let my highly trained staff protect the asset today. We can be contacted via the email and number below. Thank you.
Make sure you check out the latest episode of the Quality Time podcast hosted by Ashley Pontius, Eric Woodworth, and Jeremy Woodworth, featuring our very own Ray from the HH Pod. He comes over, drops by, gives an exclusive update on Socrates and what's going on with him, and also they cover Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Make sure you check it out now. You can find it wherever podcasts are available or go over to our social media pages to find it there.
I just need a little more money. Yes, I told you my luck was going to change. All you do is tell Krista what you want.
This is amazing.
Welcome to the Crystal House!
Hi.
Come on, bring it in. It's like I'm in a fucking Stanley Kubrick movie.
you gonna call me?
Cold stare becomes denial. I know you're telling lies. Can't hide behind that smile. Fuck you and your disguise. Hold me under till
Hey, this is Allison.
And this is John from Roses Unread, and you're listening to us on the Happy Hour podcast.
Gentlemen, it's the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, we're here on YouTube Live, and it's always great when you have your ads running. You realize you made an editing mistake during the HH Pod Rumble advertisement. Of course, that's going to be live right here on YouTube Live, June 9th. 30 former guests coming back, Royal Rumble style elimination, and we're going to be playing one of the games we're going to be playing momentarily, Incoherent. So we're going to go ahead and get right into our game segment, which the first game is Extreme Personal Questions.
Oh, this one.
So what it is it's two questions on a card. It's question A or it's question B. You're going to just randomly say A or B blindly, and you're going to get one of those questions. And then the other question, you're going to randomly select one of us to answer the other question. So are you feeling lucky with question A or question B?
B.
B. All right. So what could a childhood friend of yours tell this group that would shock everybody?
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't think I have anything shocking. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. And now, what about the other question? Who do you choose out of me or Matt to answer the other question?
Answer that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You.
All right. So me. So how were you behaving the last time others commented on your mood swings? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, if
you
that's
did.
the case and it's my wife, it was me breathing. So because all I have to do is exist, and my wife will get angry about it. Now, sometimes I get a little
You get a little moody.
I get a little annoyed. Like I don't know. I'm very like I'm kind of a perfectionist. Like I have that like kind of personality where like, you know, everything like kind of flows a certain way. And if it strays from that, I get like really annoyed really quick. So yeah, that's a consistent thing. So all right, so that's it. Extreme personal questions. The next is never have I ever. So never have I ever. We got 3 cards that we randomly drew out of the deck. And what it is if you've done it, either raise your hand, take a drink, smoke, do whatever it is you want to do. And if you want to give an explanation, feel free. So the first one is never have I ever been chased by the police.
Drink.
I have been chased by the police.
So you drink if you haven't?
No, you drink if you have.
Oh, okay.
Or smoke, raise your hand, whatever.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, you can feel free to smoke on the show. We're not going to judge you for it.
Cool.
I noticed
Yeah,
your one
when I was
tattoo
younger,
was
I was, huh?
I noticed your one tattoo was the marijuana inside of a heart or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous
Yeah.
now.
It will be legal here in Maryland in July.
Yeah.
So yes.
I'm
So-
kind of dreading that.
So you have been chased by the police. So how did that come about?
When I was younger, I used to get into so much trouble with the cops, drinking past curfew, trespassing, stealing. I've been on probation, like the whole night. Very bad girl.
All right, well, that's fair enough. I mean, like me, like my crew growing up, like we were wild, and that's how this podcast actually came to be. Is because I have so many wild stories between just my friends and the 20 years I was in pro wrestling, you know. And it's funny because we would always get into shit, but we would always get out of Dodge before we would get into too much trouble. The one time I remember is I was in Ocean City, Maryland, down in the ocean, and I'm walking down the boardwalk, and I wear like cargo shorts. And I like feel something. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I look down and somebody's hand is in my pocket and they're trying to like take my wallet. So I just come right up and I just punch the dude right in the jaw.
Instantly.
He falls
That's- you
down.
have to.
And so I hear a cop go, hey, and it's a cop on a bike. So I'm just running. I'm like, I'm out. Like cops on a bike, like whizzing through shit. Like, and the thing is like that. The boardwalk has a lot of inlets and shit. So I'm cutting through inlets and all that. Eventually I fucking lost them. But yeah, that was mine punching a guy out for trying to take my wallet on the boardwalk. And also I was highly intoxicated as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So the cop was trying to take your wallet?
no, it
Oh,
was a
shit.
random
Punch
guy.
the cop.
No,
Wow.
it was a random guy. Actually, we also almost got arrested because there was a cop on a horse and we
Yeah.
used to drink a lot of Rolling Rock. So I don't know if you're familiar with Rolling Rock, but it's the green bottle and it has the horse on the bottle. And the
Okay.
cop was on the white horse. And my friend, we walk out of the bar and he's like, oh my God, look at it's the Rolling Rock horse. So we're petting like the horse, like aggressively
you're not supposed
petting
to
this
touch the
horse. And like, so
Oh,
we're
everyone
sitting
does
there
that.
and like, we're touching the horse. He's like touching the horse's ass and all. And we see this booted leg, like go, hey. And like, we look up. Unbeknownst to us, there's a cop on the horse. This thing is this imaginary fucking beer horse that like just fucking showed up.
A man
And, like,
magically
yeah,
appeared on
yeah. And so he's like, yeah, let me see your IDs. Thankfully, we had just turned 21. And he gave us a choice of go back to our hotel, that wasn't happening, go back in the bar, that wasn't happening, we're moving to the next bar, or go to jail. And my friend Bobby used to always ask people if they would like bubble gum. And he would take his balls and squeeze it to where it would look like bubblegum. He was like, officer, let me ask you a question. Do you like, and I grab him. And I'm like, no, it's all right. Well, we'll go back to the hotel. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, bubblegum, as we're walking down the boardwalk. So yeah. Now, Matt, you raised your hand as well.
Is nowhere near exciting as a bubblegum story, but Christ. Is probably the first time I can remember I was chased by the cops because it was more than one occasion. I was probably my early teens, and we would set up roadblocks around my neighborhood, and of course they'd get pissed off.
Wait, you would set up roadblocks?
Yeah, we would.
How does one go about setting up a roadblock?
You just
not being a construction crew
you just
of any
find,
kind,
like trash cans, anything to block the road. Just people would call the cops on us, and they would chase us. But I lived near like a beach line, so the code was to run to the beach, and we would just run the beach line, because at that point, like, because there's houses around there, you run that beach line, they can't catch you. You're done. You're gone. By the time they could even figure out what's happening, we would be in a whole nother fucking area. So that was fun.
Nice. So the second one is never have I ever been on a first name basis with a delivery person.
No,
I have actually been on a first name basis with a delivery person.
Well, was it probably the guy that barged in on when you were peeing?
No, that was But mine, mainly because of my job, I was a warehouse manager for a little
Okay,
bit. I was
alright.
on a first name basis with the UPS guy. So I know
It was
does
a job
count.
related.
But
Okay, all right.
still,
I'll
like,
give you that one.
yeah,
Okay,
like
fine.
it's not like the Amazon guy was showing up. I'm like, hey Victor, come here. Come on, get down to business. Like, yeah. So, but all right. So the last
Here's
one,
your copy.
and of course they're randomly drawn. I don't think this would apply to Kaylee, but you never know. Never have I ever rocked mutton chops. I have never had mutton
Oh,
chops.
sadly, I got it.
What is that?
Oh, hold on. Wait.
All right, we gotta find a
Yeah,
picture of
because
mutton chops.
the description
I've never heard of a.
mutton chops. So all right, so here's mutton chops. So what do you think, Matt? What do you think is the best
I know
interpretation? What about that?
uh,
Like that right there? Like,
yeah,
I guess
those
okay.
are the mutton chops.
Yeah, all right.
Yes,
So that's the
definitely.
mutton chops. So let me hit visit on that, and then we will pull up the mutton chops right here for Kaylee, and it will change her life. The next man she meets, she's gonna be like, he has to have mutton chops. Like that's the
That's your
so
dream
that's-
date. Your
that's the
dream
mutton
date,
chops.
Mutton chops.
right there. So like it's basically like the sideburns.
Look at
that
her
go
face.
down,
She's like, what
and
the
it's
fuck?
like cut like right there. So yeah,
Know this, just like sideburn beard.
Just-
Oh
It's
my-
just sideburns,
yeah.
long ass sideburns.
Wait, Matt, you had
So
mutton.
Unfortunately, I do have to drink for that one.
I'm like, that doesn't seem like that's been a trend for a while, right?
Yeah, Matt, you should take your beard right now and
No,
do a
I'm
beard
not
mutton
doing
chop.
that, no.
Like you
You
leave the
just chop
mustache
it?
and you just go
No.
straight down here.
I'm not
Like
doing
a
that.
maniac
So-
beard mutton chop.
So, is around high school, I think early. I was probably about 16 or 17. So I started growing facial hair early. But unfortunately, at that time frame, I couldn't ever get the like the beard and the mustache part. So I could only grow up to about here. So
you naturally grew a mutton chop.
he naturally grew a mutton chop. So just picture me in fucking 16 with ripped jeans and fucking mutton chops in a Trans Am. I mean, I'm telling you, I was a lady killer, all right? Fuck what you heard.
So, Kelly, if you show up to a scene and the person you're doing the scene with has mutton chops, is it just you need to find me a new actor? Someone else needs to
Fucking
come in
Joe
here.
Dirt
Like,
just-
Joe Dirt just shows up with his mutton chops, and she just looks. She's like, "I've never been more turned off in my life. Like, I don't care how this guy pisses, but he
No,
can't have mutton chops."
No, Kelly, look, now hold on. Is that a no-go or is that a turn on? Could you work around it?
Oh,
Like,
Pat.
Could you see past the shit sideburns?
Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I feel like with the mutton chops, like they have like all this ceremony. Just come on, baby, sit on my face and just put it right there where the mutton is.
Well, there
Just
you
right
go.
there where the mutton is.
Look, it's just that's
Look, now it's a no. Now
Now
it's
That's for
definitely
sure.
a no.
well, maybe you're a little bit sensitive down there. So they just leave all this out so it doesn't irritate the skin down there, you know? I mean, it's a courtesy thing. Like, no.
Oh.
Damn it. Well,
Matt's
I'm
like,
keeping my
yeah,
beard down.
now Matt knows why he didn't get laid when he was 16 in high school because of the mutton chops. That's why. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into our game Incoherent, which of course is a staple of this show and is also featured during our HH Pod Rumble. So what we're going to do, Kaylee, is we're going to take a series of cards and we're going to show them on a screen and they're going to be in gibberish. And what you need to do is sound out the cards and see if you can figure out what the fuck they say. And there's 2 hints on the cards just in case you need them. So I'm going to go ahead and get these ready. And then we're going to show them up here on the screen. And we're going to try to figure out what these cards say. So here is the first one. What do you think that says?
Excuse me.
My light keeps dying, but Dutch ma bahi.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea what that means.
One of the hints is Mariah Carey because she has a #1 hit by that title. Another one is when you're in a risk-taking mood and trying to get out of the friend zone. Like say,
I have no idea.
you say
Am I
it,
supposed to just like say it fast?
like say it fast, but also kind of say it with a southern accent. Like if you were to have mutton chops, like how you would
You would
mutton
speak.
chops would say this. That's like probably about like 16 tequila shots deep.
Like, listen, touch my body.
Dirt my body.
You got it.
Yeah,
You're
like,
saying
like
it.
you're saying it, but you don't realize you're saying it. Like we hear parts of it coming out.
I have no idea. Oh my gosh.
Are you tapping out on this one?
Yeah, I think I am.
It is touch my body. Touch my body. Touch my body. So that is
Touch
what it
my
is.
body.
Yeah. So here's the next one.
Touch my
What do you
body.
think that one says? You may have said this in one of your scenes before.
As a matter of fact, I know you said this before.
Probably would never say it to someone with mutton chops because it probably wouldn't be happening to begin with. But you've probably said, and one of the hints is stronger. And also when you don't want any of that soft-ish.
Fuck me harder.
Oh, you got me. I'll give you the second part, which is me. So
Means
me
the
hard.
same thing
Yeah.
though, right?
Okay.
Debate will be. I
Fuck
think
me-
she got
okay.
it.
We'll give it. Give it to me hard. So fuck me like that. We'll take that. We'll accept that. All right. And then so the last one is this one. What do you think that one says?
The fuck?
Touch my body. Did we just do this?
Oh,
it's the
no,
wrong
no,
one.
no! I pulled the wrong way.
Ray,
Yes,
you
so that
fucked
one,
up.
that
You
one is
dropped the
correct.
ball. You
That
win,
one
Kelly.
is
You win.
correct. All right. So why isn't this going back up down here? All right. Let me just go ahead and
Oh, you fucked up, right?
yeah.
God
Let me
damn it.
stop share. For some reason, I won't go over to the other one. So let me pull it up on here and there we go. So there's that, and then I'll hit that, and then hit that. This is what happens when you go live. So is that?
Oh, that's not it.
No, that's
You don't
not
even
it.
have that card on.
Don't even judge me. All right, stop it. Like, all right. So
Told you we need to hire somebody for this shit.
is that it right there?
No.
No. Oh,
That's
here it
touch
is. Right
my
there.
body.
There we
There
go.
you go.
There we
Okay.
go.
All right, that sounds right.
Got it. All right.
That's not
The things that happen when you go live. So what do you think that says? One of the hints is a bad rapper. Not like a singing rapper, but if you were to rap something. And the other hints is an effective pregnancy.
something you don't want to happen.
Yeah. If you were to buy one of these at the store, you wouldn't want it to be this when you're about to have sex.
Safe sex, anyway.
Yes.
I don't know. It says
Oh,
So
oh, yeah.
the
fuck is going down.
it's gone down.
The fuck is going down. I don't know.
It is defective condom. Defective
Oh,
condom.
I see it now.
So what we're going to do, this segment is called Ode to Humanity. So we end this segment with Cards Against Humanity. Have you ever played Cards Against Humanity?
I have, yes.
Okay, so you know what you're getting yourself into with that game. Of course, we can't have a deck of cards in front of you, so we do Cards Against Humanity roulette. So it's going to be kind of like the first game, which we're going to read off the face card, and then you're going to choose a lucky number 1 through 6 to randomly answer that card. You get 2 rebuttals if you don't like that answer. So the first one is, how am I maintaining my relationship status? 1 through 6.
4.
4. All right. So how am I maintaining my relationship status? By acquiring a gun very easily.
You got real relationship.
Do you like that card or do you want a rebuttal for a different card?
I think we can get a better one.
All right. So now 1 through 5. What are you thinking?
6.
6. All right. So this goes the whole complete opposite way.
Wow.
How am I maintaining my relationship status? God. So we go from acquiring a gun very easily to God. So you're probably going to need God. So are you good with God or do you want to use your last rebuttal with this card is what you're going to have to hold with?
Rebuttal, I'm going with 5.
5. All right. So,
Okay. This actually all works kind of together here.
What the Aztecs used to do back in the day.
how am I
When Cinco de Mayo.
How am I maintaining my relationship status? By throwing a virgin into a volcano.
Oh no. Okay, I'll take that one though. That's better. That's
All right, so
better.
those 3 will now go to next week. So we have a second card. And so this one is what gets better with age? What gets better with age? 1 through 6.
Mutton chops, because it turns into a luscious beard.
What gets better with age? I would just say life in general, wisdom and knowledge, baby.
For the card 1 through 6, what do you think?
Let's do 2.
2. All right. So 2.
This is coming.
What gets better with age? Certain things, but not others. So are you good with that, or
That's
do you
like-
want to choose a
it's
different?
very-
Yeah, I like that.
It's
You like
very
that?
confused. Like, what gets better with age?
Yeah.
Things, but not,
But not
others.
other
What-
things.
What gets better with age?
Okay, they,
Throwing a virgin into a volcano. What doesn't? Not acquiring a gun very easily. All right, that is our game segment, Ode to Humanity, and of course, you do so. Pretty much, you're doing something with Playboy. So what's the whole Playboy thing? that
Playboy's
you're
still a
doing now?
thing. I thought.
Yes, I just joined Playboy Centerfold, and basically, I'm selling like exclusive photo sets and just also talking with fans on there. So just another platform to connect with fans and sell more content. So
Nice. So did Playboy? Did they go back to nude? Because I know there for a little bit they got rid of the nude content, and I think people were just kind of like, yeah, no, not
Playboy
happening, bro.
anymore.
Like, yeah.
yeah. The only thing is on Playboy Centerfold, the thing that isn't allowed is like partnered content, like with other people.
Gotcha.
But you could do like solo, erotic, full nude, everything.
So they're like, you can do whatever you want with solo, but there's no partner stuff. So you can bring in like a fuck machine and just have it ravage you in front of everybody. But there's no sex content. Like, we're not doing that. But however, this Sawzall with a dick on the end, you just hold that thing towards yourself and like roll yourself. That's fine.
That's perfectly fine. Allowed.
Where can everybody find all that content at?
So all of my links are on callieslinks.com. That's where you can find my OF, my Playboy Centerfold, my free OF, my VIP one, my website, my many vids, all the things, all there.
Nice. And Kelly, you still have a little bit of time. We're going to get into a couple more things and then we'll let you get ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we're going to do another news article, which this one is tiny
Ray
dicks.
needs your advice on this one.
Tiny dicks might become popular again, according to experts. And it says, good news for some, I'm sure. Experts have suggested that a small penis may become desirable at some point in the future, with the concept of ideal dick size having been a fluid and ever-changing one throughout history. Vice reports that while Western world is enamored by big penises at the moment, Throughout history,
Sorry.
there are an example of entire periods where a big dick was seen as something to be ridiculed and smaller penises were far more desirable. It is thought that thousands of years ago, a smaller penis was seen as a good thing. The ancient Greeks apparently saw a smaller penis as a sign of modesty, rationality, and self-control. Oh yeah, they're not having a gun to stay in their relationship.
Whoever wrote this article has a small penis.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you that now.
It says, and a big dick was a sign of an idiotic lust and lack of restraint.
Wow.
John Clark, this is probably who it was. John Clark, a professor in art history at the University of Texas, says that in ancient Greece, a human with very large genitalia is considered to be grotesque and laughable. The Romans then adopted these views, seeing large penises as something to ridicule and laugh at. Even moving into the Middle Ages, artists used large members to depict evil or hearsay. Classics Kirk Arman adds that there remain some examples of negative connotations associated with big penises, even in society today, such as the idea of following their dicks and racist views of black men being commonly stereotyped as having big penises. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? What? There is no, like, I didn't pre-read this, and I'm glad we're reading it live because I'm just blown away by the shit that they're saying. This is no specific period of when society's thinking around the ideal penis size has changed. Some think it might have been around the Renaissance in the 16th century. Others suggest that it must have been much more recent than this, coinciding with the bigger is better thinking of modern society. In fact, it is the thought that throughout history, cultures often featured both positive and negative connotations about large penis sizes, with the exception of ancient Greeks who absolutely loved a small dick. But who knows? Thinking may flip once more, ending the current obsession with the penis size that seems to have taken over our society. Don't get hung up at the end of the day over it, because the idea bigger is better is just as fragile as any other social norm we've accepted in society. So what do you think about that? I mean, is it like the kind of, do you think that like small dicks are on the rise?
I think
like,
whoever
you know,
wrote
like,
that
like,
has
like,
I don't think like I don't think that's like a thing now.
I don't
like
think so
you
either.
show up, like you show up to a set and it's a gangbang, and you show up like
It's
all these
bunch
guys are like
And they're like trying to get the smallest penises they can find ever. They're like, look at these.
Yeah, they have like these little mini carrots, and you're like, what are you gonna do? Fuck me in the nostril? Like I don't understand. Like what?
Here.
They got
Yeah.
innies.
They have dick innies. Like,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to make fun of people.
they have
but
innies.
just-
You look, you're like, is that belly button dick inside there?
What
Is
is
that belly button lint inside your dick? What is that? Like, like
Oh.
those are guys that would definitely like those, like what we were talking about earlier with the pissing. Like those are the kind of guys that you have to pull your pants down to do that, because they're not fishing their hog out of their pants. Like,
No,
they have
I
to like
was
put
too-
their arm inside, collect the
Honestly.
piss, and then fling it like into like that.
Honestly,
Like,
I was going to say that because I was trying to be modest, but whoever has to do it the way that you were has a very small penis.
oh,
like,
why,
'cause-
thank you. But you said you
No, no,
pissed
no,
that
no,
way
no,
too.
no, no, not that way. But you can unzip your shit and just like pull it right out instead of,
Yeah.
know.
Well, what I am enamored
I
of is when I watch like a porn movie, like sometimes like a guy will like they'll unzip their pants and like it'll just kind of flop out. And like you sit there and like you see like the mold of it in their pants, and like you unzip and like this like 11-inch hog just comes out, but they're still buttoned. And I'm like, how is this happening? Because I mean, like that thing's and it's like just falling like a fucking tree trunk outside of there. And it's like, I don't understand. Like if my balls aren't out, like I start panicking. Like I go into this weird like panic mode. Like,
Well, in Greek times, he would be one evil motherfucker. Okay, he's probably the devil.
yeah, and we're gonna get into one more article that we're gonna read with you, and then we're gonna let you get ready to get out of here. And this one is the true story of Sinko De Mayo. So this one is, for me, Sinko De Mayo is truly a day to celebrate. For people who come to know the true story and the origin of Sinko De Mayo, spelled with an S, it is a pleasure to the records straight. A little known fact is that back in 1912, Hellmann's mayonnaise was manufactured in England. In fact, the Titanic was carrying 12,000 jars of the condiment scheduled to be delivered in Veracruz, Mexico, which was to be the next port of call for the great ship after the stop in New York. This would have been the largest single shipment of mayonnaise ever delivered to Mexico.
Oh, man.
But as we know, the great ship did not make it to New York.
I love
Why
conspiracy
didn't
theories.
they make it? The ship hit an iceberg and sunk, and the cargo was lost forever. The people of Mexico, who were crazy about mayonnaise and were eagerly awaited its delivery, were disconsolate at the loss. And their anguish was so great that they declared a national day of mourning. Which is
There's no way this is fake. This gotta be
it's gotta be fake. The National Day of Mourning occurs May 5th, known as Sinko De Mayo, and goes out to the state to go grab a couple slices of Wonder Bread and a jar of Hellmann's mayonnaise and have a party. You know I will. Son of a bitch.
So
That's not
everyone
real.
around
at
you
all.
celebrating.
Yeah.
And we're all drinking. And there's one sad motherfucker in Mexico.
I know the truth. It was the day the mayonnaise ran dry,
Yeah.
and I had to eat that dry ass bread.
The day I had to make my own mayonnaise for my sandwich. Oh my god.
Now I got to eat this dry ass punani.
So how do you feel? Like, would you ever sit there and eat like just a pure mayonnaise sandwich? Like
No.
there was a wrestler named Umaga who was in WWE, and people used to say he would go to Sam's Club and get those big ass fucking things of mayonnaise like that, and he would make mayonnaise sandwiches and eat them in the locker room, eat like 5 of them at a time, and I like feel the vomit right here and like the pit of my throat thinking of that. But so what we're gonna do, Kaylee, we appreciate you coming on to the show. So what we're gonna
for
do,
having me.
oh, no problem. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up here on YouTube Live, and we're gonna be right back here this coming Tuesday. Of course, anybody who's seen during our ads, we're going to be here right here on YouTube Live, 7:30 p.m. Our guest is Manny Lynn Bricks. She was in Party Down South and The Challenge on MTV. So she will be our featured guest. Of course, there's going to be a couple other guests announced later on this week. So, Kaylee, thank you for joining us. Would you be able to hang out for 1 minute once we conclude?
Yes.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead, wrap up here on YouTube Live. For everybody over in the stream, let me just go ahead and check the thread real quick, just to see if there's anything else. Jason asked, would you be attending Exotica in New Jersey?
Won't be.
Won't be. Okay. So that is a hard no, Jason. So shave off your mutton chops and plan on showing up, because, you know, she's not going to be there. She's just like, that's a hard no. I'm not going to that mutton chop full convention. But so we're going to go ahead and wrap up here on YouTube Live. Thank you for everybody who tuned in live, and make sure you click that subscribe button, follow us on all of our social medias. And Kaylee, before we peace out, of course, what's that site again where everybody can find all of your content?
KalisLinks.com. KALIS links.com.
All right, make sure you go over there, follow this young lady, and subscribe to all of her content, and you know, give her a like, follow, and send her some money, damn it. Like, come on now.
Thank you.
So once again, it's the Happy Hour Podcast, and we will see you guys live this coming Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Peace out. All right, so that's